Prosperity be unto all who's listening or watching. It's your girl, Shaeranea, right? And I'm back with another video, and let's talk about it. Let's really talk about it. It's so disheartening to see our people get dismantled, get handled, get abused, mistreated, broken, misused. Black Lives Matter every day of the week, throughout the month, throughout the year, it's Black History every day for me. Not just 1 month out the week or 2 days through the week. I represent Black Lives Matter on my face every single day, though I'm the light complexion of Black imperfection. We are perfectly made the way that we are. The very essence of God and love and all that it is. Yes, Black Lives Matter. Only when it's convenient for you. It's only convenient for the oppressor to speak of Black Lives Matter in such a negative way. See, they don't get clout and money from supporting us. They get clout and money from promoting negativity, oppressing us, promoting the violence. So instead of speaking up and voicing and being the better, they rather use the negativity and gain. But you know what? It's greedy and gain. Yeah, I get it. Black on black crime. It's all the time. We are part of our environment. We know it. Don't you think we know this stuff? We live with it every single day. You don't think we know that black on black crime is real? But what's more realer is that people overlook the oppressor, but they're so quick to say what Black people done to each other. But all along, the oppressor and cops and cop brutality and all this stuff that goes on in society has gone on longer than black on black crime. And the ratio and number of how many people died on black crime is less compared to police brutality and the oppression of society of Black people in the minority of the majority of people living of Black ethnics, of Black racial descent, of mixture complexion, of lighter skin. It's such a hate in this world for our men. Black men, you matter. Black men, you matter. That's on everybody who's died without cause or reason. Black lives matter only when it's beneficial for the oppressor. We can talk about everything. When our children go missing in Black communities, we don't get no Amber Alert to our phones immediately saying, hey, this Black child, if you see them, they're missing. We don't immediately get Black Amber Alerts or Black alerts to our phones saying that Black children are missing. We don't get a grand notification when our Black women are missing, and we don't get a notification of when Black men are being killed by cops, by police brutality. But yet we get Amber Alerts. Let it be some little white child. And yes, that's on white privilege. And just because you don't see a problem doesn't mean a problem doesn't exist. It's only because the problem has not affected you. Until it hurts you the way that it hurts the people that it's affecting, then this is irrelevant to you. But it's not relevant to the people that speak up for the very thing that is going on. See, it's not enough to talk about it. It's not enough to protest about it. We can walk and march all in the streets, but no longer can marching and protesting help our people. It is beyond that now. It is so beyond protesting and speaking about it that we need to get some action about it. We need to get some studying about it. We need to get some law and action about it. We need to fight back. When will our people fight back? When it's too late? They say it's already too late. They say it's too late for our people. But I don't believe that it's too late. I believe that people wait too long to wake up. Yet they ask for answers, yet answers are right in front of you. Don't ask questions that you get answers to that you never plan to use for your life. Protest. And it's very empowering to see the unity of white and black people. But for a long time, this unequipped, unsocialized behavior has been going on for so long. But it was only till in quarantine till it really got. During the quarantine, we got to see racism at the highest extreme. To the top of the top. And now apps are using this very thing against black people, making it hard to be an entrepreneur, a black business owner, a black woman, a black man, a black anything. Because if you're a black ethnics, black racial descent, black, if you were born black in the world has always been cold for you. Look around, you don't see enough love. You don't see enough love in the world. You don't see enough unity. You don't see enough support. You don't even see enough anything. Anything that we need, we don't have enough of. Yet only do we cry when someone else in our community or in the world is being hurt or misused. We can speak up about it. But it's not enough to speak about things if you don't plan to make actions about it. We could talk all day, but talking is a waste of energy if you don't have no actions behind it to back it. I love my black people. And it's totally disheartening to see them be abused and mistreated the way they do. And this is why it's hard to see reasons of regeneration, bringing forth more babies. Because you live in fear, people living in fear, not knowing whether this world will be a great place for their children. Because just like they can be here, they can be gone in 2 seconds. People disregarding your life, overly uncaring about you. The unimportance of black people is so great in the world that we live in. And I get it, it's so many interracial relationships and we're so mixed upon races in the society. It's so many mixed generational kids to the point where I don't see why racism even exists. But it still does. And you still always have the KKK around. You still always have people hate in their hearts for our people. Because they believe that we're superior to them. So what you do with someone who you think is superior, you oppress them. Make them cripple so they never can walk again. Make it totally impossible for them to come up in the world and the communities and the environments and life. Make it hard for them to purchase homes. Make it hard for them to live on. Take their men, take their children. Make women be alone. Make the world a colder place. Make homosexuality the biggest thing. Turning all men gay. So reproduction won't be the way. I know we won't speak up, but time's hard. And it's such a pain to see black men abused and in pain. It triggers something in my brain. It mentally does something to me in a fucked up way. And I hate to say that it's violating the depths of essence in which I was created. Oh, it hurts in such another way. I'm like, why could you just treat us this way? It is no excuse how people can abuse and mistreat our people. It's such evil people with ugly hearts. Such evil people with ugly hearts. All they look to is the desire and beneficial needs of themselves, and it's only convenient when it's convenient for them. Same with the oppressor. They gain nothing from helping us. Doctors gain nothing for curing us. Though they save a lot of lives, it costs more to have more people sick than it does to have people well. Let's promote unhealthiness, because it's better to have people fat and unhealthy to give them what they need, and so they can eat the things that nourish their body so they won't lose themselves in self-hate that they lost themselves and their body ate themselves away. It's so easy to be manipulated in society. Told one thing and done another. Man, that's real variety. You want to have hopes for the world, but hopes ain't enough for this world. It's small moments of joy and happiness, but they don't last long as the suffering do. Let's be real. The suffering lasts longer than the joy of the days. And they say joy is supposed to last longer because if you content within, they say it outlasts the pain. But you know what? Living in this world just make you bitter and numb and cold inside. Makes your heart turn up and eat you like pride on dynamite. Make your heart blow up 1,000 times inside. They not care for you the way you care for you. Expecting a difference in this world is like mentally fucking your subconscious. It's saying that we will get better, but if you don't look back from the beginning of time, society has always been this way. Generation from generation to generation to generation to generation, it's been this way. Why has it yet not changed? Yet we're constantly fighting. We no longer enslavement of physicality. We no longer have to work a field of enslavement. We no longer enslaved physically, but mentally we're enslaved. We're slaves. Mentally slaves to technology. Mentally slaves to technology. Society standards and expectations. To the system. To the workforce. Constantly working somebody else's dream but not working for your own. Having to work against abandonment, heartbreak, abuse, rape, racism, hatred, pure unadulterated hatred that you did not create. You did not ask to be hated. And what they think, that is your fault. Who wants to be black? I want to be black. I love my color. I love my people. And I want more for them. But I want my people to want more for themselves. So easy to be gullible. Always letting people in. The reason why black people are in this position is because they don't apply themselves. They don't apply themselves. They're not taking actions before things happen. They're not preparing. They're not coming together in unity. They're not supporting each other. They're not helping each other out. Constantly demoting each other, bringing down each other, hating each other, killing each other. But that has nothing to do with the police brutality and the oppression that leaves us in the predicament that we're in. No longer seeing a way out. But the First Amendments and the rights of our people lies in the very thing that our ancestors fought for. So if you don't know your amendments, and how to stand within the amendments of the Constitution. Know your rights. Stand up for what you believe and speak with authority, boldness, clarity, wisdom. And there's no one against you that can ever overcome you. It don't matter how great the enemy is, no one can defeat you. Quit being a slave to society, social media, technology, yourself. A slave of hatred, of self-hate. Hating yourself in or out like it was a first date. You really believe that stuff you tell yourself in your head. Like you're not worthy, like you don't deserve to be here with it. You say. We all deserve to be here. We're all worthy. If you remain to this point, then you have a reason for being here. Live with purpose and knowing that your life has meaning. Black man, you deserve to live. Forget all those insecurities you telling yourself in your head. No, taking your life is not better. To say, I wonder if living or dying is better. Who's ever to know? It seems like all life has to offer is a lot of suffering. And there'll come great lessons with all the suffering. You got few times of joy. Few times of joy. And in that you no longer live in the pain and hatred and agony. But who's to say that you don't suffer when you die? Who's to say that when you cross over, you still don't suffer? To deceive yourself to believe something that was said to be true is to deny that suffering don't exist elsewhere. Because if it exists here, it's going to exist somewhere else. I assure you. Truth is, it hurts. It hurts to see black children being kidnapped, being abused, being mistreated, being neglected, abandoned, hurt, misappreciated, yelled at. It hurts to see black women disregard themselves, promote self-hate, and pull each other down, but no support in each other's self. Constantly not giving a man enough support. Give him the love he needs. I know women go through a lot, but men go through a lot too. And when we come to the understanding that black men and women stop acting as if they're alone, because it's two of us, black man, black woman. And when we live in a divided mindset as if our independence has allowed us, and that equality that we fight for has divided us, it doesn't bring unity. Because in independence, it says that I can do it alone. And equality, it says that I deserve rights, but we look over the rights in which we already have, and we don't fight for the things that we really need to fight for. The things that is most important is overlooked, and equality is important for women. But it's also equality is important for men too, because there's things in men's lives that they need equality for too. Constantly overlooking the facts that we all have needs. We all have things that we need to work on. But that's said without ease. And people these days just do what they please. Hey, with no reason. And it's so easy for people to live in such hate. I don't think black men hear it enough. Black men being mentally and verbally abused and constantly being mistreated and used. And because they're not wise enough to make selective decisions about the people they allow enter in their lives, they sometimes endure things that come with a price. Black men, you don't hear it enough, but let me tell you the truth. You are beautiful, amazing. How you are, you have the right to feel, but not the right to be abused or mistreated. You deserve so much, but you deserve so much from yourself. You're educated, you're smart, you're strong, and you're independent. You deserve equality in so many ways in which women oversee and don't fight for. Because even though you have equality in things in which we fight for, you don't have equality in certain things in which you desire. The society has made it so hard for a black man to even live. Having to have his head down, he can't even smile without looking over his shoulders. Believing that somebody out there may take his life, that he might not go home to see his children and wife, that it's hard to be on sight, to be seen, to live with a price, to be created and not really know why, but have purpose and stand for purpose and believe in love and all the different things that life should come with. Try to live in the intentions of how God wanted us. But when you live in this earth, you don't see intentions. You see evil. You see pain. You see suffering. You see all of it. You see all that. It's so sad. It really is so sad that no one can come together. No one can truly support each other. That everybody's putting each other down. And in the times that we need each other most, nobody's around. And only black people come together when the abuse has happened. And the actions can no longer be changed. And why would we come together when it's no longer too early? It's become too late. Why wait till the last minute to do anything? Why not prepare and become in unity? Come together. But I guess people just don't see it that way. I guess my people just don't see it. I guess people don't see the power in numbers, that one as a unity is greater than one individual everywhere around this world, right? Because we have a small number of people who really care about change. Then you have another amount of people who only care for speaking up when it's convenient for them, when the accident has already happened. They're only about words. They only have no actions. Talking about people that really do nothing but speak on everything. I cannot empathize with the words that you speak because your actions are not a reflection of what you mean. Yet you want people to sympathize with what you say. But is it for attention? Or are you really in pain? Do you really care about our people? Or are you just playing? Because many people out here act as if they're for us, and they're not. Let's be real. Not everybody who's of black descent is for black people. We got too many people who are against us, and we don't have enough people supporting us. Yet we lie in one number, separated and divided, no longer having unity. So when have we ever had unity? When Black Panthers was around, when we was rising for greater causes back in days before. Our ancestors fought for so much more, yet we at this point. And if Martin Luther was here today to see that his dream, one day I have a dream that one day little boys and girls, that very dream that we get to live today is taken for granted in each and every way. No one cares about the blood, sweat, and pain of those before us and fought along the way. Yet they paved the path that we walk to and walk on today. Not taking education seriously when there were slaves and people who couldn't even educate and write their names. Yet they're taking cursive out of school, trying to deprive our kids of what they should know and learn. expecting schools to educate our children is such a flawed thing to do. We want change, yet we don't expect to be the change in which we want. We want difference, but we don't expect to be the difference. We want things to happen, but we don't expect things to happen because we don't expect to be the happening. You have to be the actions in which you speak. And I try my best to do everything that I can to empower people. To let people know that it's a difference between people who are really for us and those who act for us only when it's convenient for them, only when it gets them attention. Maybe it draws social media platforms to a high view. Maybe it's just, I'm not black, but I feel you. Yeah, I empathize. But have to raise black children or grow up in a black home, grow up in black communities, a majority of kids that live in an environment of gang violence. Now we're all a product of our environment, constantly having to deflect and project the same stuff that we grew up from. It takes a lot of growth to grow up from the environment in which you were born into, taught into, raised into, and saw. Because the environment of what you were living in no longer was suitable for your conditions. And if you wanted to live a better life, you had to choose something more right for you. Because sometimes being a difference and change required you to step up and level up in a way that sometimes is uncomfortable and pain. I love my black people. I love my black men, but it hurts me so much to see. And it's happened so long, and it's why I started writing books. It's why I became a published author. I mean, I've been a poet for years. It's why I became a published author, and I've been a published author for so many years. Well, not so many years, maybe like 4 years now, but it's why I write deep poetry and talk about things that people won't even talk about. That's why I stand up for things that most people won't voice their opinion on. I do unpopular opinions because regardless of if you agree, my opinions are really opinions. They're really true facts. The difference between me and other people is just that I don't just speak about the things I want, I do it. And the problem with the world is there's a lot of people speaking and talking about the things they want. And talking about how they want change and how change is something that we need. But it's an underlying situation when black people don't apply themselves to be more than they are. The more than they've been. The more than the environment project and the society around us deflect, and the expectations of our society and the things that is required of us that is said to be us. We are nothing like this world. We're amazing. And for us to even level with their level of stupidity and ignorancy is just amazing to me. We are so beyond the social normality. Because we come in numbers. We come in numbers, yet we're divided in those numbers. Not coming together to create small business, not coming together to make our community better. It's not coming together to support and motivate each other, to support and promote black businesses, to encourage each other, to lift each other up, to see our people do better. Black men are more attracted to white women, yet they don't speak and say that in their mind. Then it's a large majority of men who are into white women that are black. Reasons being is because most men look at white women and they think, this can get me out the hood. This is better than how I grew up, the environment. They think about the environment that they grew up in. Instead of thinking of ways of how they can make the environment better, they think of ways of how they can escape the world, because it doesn't change to escape the environment. It changes when you change and be the change to deflect the change in the environment. And yes, men are naturally attractive to white women. Why? And most people think it's a preference. It probably is for some. But for others, It's a lot of black men with self-hate in themselves. Let's be real. It's a lot of black men with self-hate in themselves. Hating themselves enough to hate their own. Enough to hate a black woman. Enough to hate the reflection of how he came out. The same reflection that birthed you. The same ethnic descent that gave you birth. It's the same kind of women you hate. Yet you don't see that in any way. But self-hate is real. And it lives in our men. It lives in our men more than it lives in our women. Let's just say. And facts behind facts. Because that's period. On period. That's a fact. Black men are more likely to fall into beautiful things, yet don't fall into things that make them better. They like the things of simplicity. Simplicity is beauty, but beauty don't help you as a man. Don't help you make a better life for yourself. Yeah, you think about ideas of how things can be better for you, but you don't really think about the totality of how things can affect you. Yet you focus on beauty and lovely things. Yeah, lovely things are good for a man, but that's too practical for even you or me. You gotta be around people that love you, genuinely support you, motivate you, encourage you. It's time for black men to start making better decisions for themselves. But not only black men, black women too. So when will we all support each other? Leaving like the two independent people that don't care for each other, yet come together when cause and solutions. Yeah, we should be promoting each other, encouraging each other, doing more for each other. But I really see the hate between our people. And I hate to say, it seems like things don't change. And as much as Martin Luther King had a dream and Emmett Till and all these people died and were killed, as much as cop brutality and slave mentalities, and as much as I want change, and as much as I changed, and as much as I do and help and give and support and motivate, as much as I do, the little done is not enough for the few. Because there's so many out here that need guidance and encouragement and need mentorship. We need to work on our communities. We need to work on ourselves. We need to love ourselves so that we can always love our people and love our history and where we come from. But not only that, be the very solution in which we seek. We are the only solution that we seek. Black people are the only solution that they need. And when you stop looking to find the solution out in the world, you can find the solution within you and be your solution. Because nobody is going to save you the way you can save your people and the way you can save yourself. So when you stop having self-pity and expecting the white man, the oppressor, the one that doesn't care about you, and those around you that only care about you in the spare moment and when you in despair, don't care about you on other days when you are genuinely alive. They only support you when it's relevant. It's when it's relevant. It's when they support you. When it's relevant, when it's convenient, when it's new, when it's out there, when it's the hot topic, when it's trending, when it's out in the media. That's when it's important for the people around you. And black people's lives are more equivalent to views. Our lives are more important than views. Our lives are more important than shares. Our lives are more important than money. Our lives are more important than clout. Our lives are more important than you know. And I value myself. I value my people. But I need my people to value themselves too. Because it's not enough black people coming together being true. Honestly, I love you all. But let's Some things make you want to sit back and just, we do too much talking. We don't do enough solving. We talk about the problems all day long, and it becomes an action of complaint. It becomes an action of negativity. Speak facts. Facts upon facts. Because at the end of the day, our people are really suffering. Becoming homeless, getting kicked out their homes. I know this pandemic has made people blind to see what's really going on, and only see when the tragedy has already happened. But things are happening even when the tragedy has not occurred yet. Be prepared before things actually happen. This is an everyday thing for Black people. This is actually a reality. Raising Black children, living in Black homes, abandonment of fathers. This is our reality of Black people. Self-hate, not really knowing how to accept yourself, not fitting into categories, not having anybody there to guide you or mentor you. This is our reality. This is Black people's reality. Grow up in a product of nature that reflects that we should hate and kill each other. Grow up in environments that says, this is the way, this is right. But everything we do as a young is a product of the environment in which we grew up in. And the reflection of our homes and our childhood foundations of standards of how we were raised as children. Now we grow up into adult to be broken individuals. Grow up to live in a society that no longer can prepare us. Now we're mentally messed up. We are abused to the point where I want better for my Black people. But I need my people to want better for themselves. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a prosperous day. And it's not enough to be said about these sort of topics. But to be honest, there's nothing to be said. Because at this moment, at this time in life, it's time for action. It's time to take legal actions. It's time to be more than protesting, because protesting didn't change anything. I've never seen a protest change anything. And if it has, correct me. Probably comment down below and let me know when the protest actually had changed something. When did a protest actually made a amendment or a law or a cop get locked up? Or when did it change something? We can protest all day. Walk and march the streets, because that is part of our right and our amendment and our right to speak. Yes, I know my amendments, and I hope you do too. But there's a time where we must speak and we must indulgently say what we mean. But there's a time that we act, we prepare, and we come in unity. And that is this time. And it's been this time for a very long time. And our time has almost come to an end. So if you don't see the truth of unity and see why it's important that we come together as people, what's the point? Love you guys.